Alright, so I'm here in Åkersberga, northeast of Stockholm, Sweden, and I'm going to try for the first time to try both the Packlite kayak from Advanced Elements and the Packlite outer cover. This is the first time I use it. I'm going to try and paddle this tiny river here, this creek. And that's it, my first attempt at the outer cover for the Packlite kayak. Using my most adequate shirt for this occasion. And since the weather is a bit chilly today and it might rain later, I'm actually using my dry suit for the first time this season. Practical, protects me in case of rain and any splashes of water, even if this is in no way a challenging paddle that I'm gonna do today. And off we go. I guess it's a sign that you need to duck under the bridge. A water taxi right here. Don't need it, I have my Packlite. Even with the outer cover, you can still turn this one on, turn this one around really easily. So I would say with the outer cover, this kayak, the Packlite, does have somewhat less yaw, I think. It's not going back and forth as much unless I really try. So the fin, the skeg underneath the cover does its job. But more than that, now that there's an outer cover, there's really more protection for me. I feel more like I'm sitting in an actual kayak. Helps a little bit with gear on top of the cockpit as well. And if I had it with me, I could attach a spray skirt now. So that's kind of nice. I don't think I aligned this perfectly. I know I didn't. The sides of the cover. But it works well. And it has the same visual feel to it, obviously. While now sitting inside the kayak instead of sitting on top of it. So I like that. The disadvantage of the outer cover would be obviously that you need twice the weight, which isn't much. It's less than 2 kilograms each for the kayak itself and the cover. And you have twice the volume of what you're bringing with you in terms of the kayak and the cover combined. And for Game of Thrones fans, there's a boat called Daenerys Targaryen. Dracarys. No Dracarys on my kayak, please. This is not flame resistant. That is a pretty cool catamaran right there. I'm sure that thing flies quite nicely on the water. So now I have some slight counter wind, not much, just a little bit. Doesn't seem to bother the kayak so far, but I'm sure this thing will be blown around quite significantly in a little bit heavier wind. The yaw is better, the control is better with the fin, which makes sense, the fin of the outer cover. And like I said in a previous video, for paddling short stretches like 5 kilometers, up to 5 kilometers or such, this very light kayak is quite fine. But if you were to want to do long trips, then since you don't have any back support, the seat is just a pillow under you. You have only a tiny bit of back support from the combing. Then and you don't have any footrests to use your feet for force, then basically this is obviously not a kayak for long distance, but for paddling around on a lake in summer, traversing a lake while you're hiking, or exploring a lake or two while out on a bike trip, this is very well suited for. And again, it turns on a dime if I wanted to. It's kind of nice to be back in a dry suit again as well. Right now I think it's 13 degrees or something like that. It's a little bit chilly with the wind, but with By the way, I tried connecting only 3 of the 4 parts of this paddle. This ultralight paddle is actually quite long, so in theory, if you were hiking or such and you were really trying to save up every little minimal piece of weight that you could leave at home, then it's possible to use this paddle with only 3 pieces instead of 4. In theory, it's possible, but you can paddle with it, but it becomes short enough that I found it a nuisance hitting the sides and such. So I wouldn't recommend it, but it's good to know that it's actually a possibility. I'm thinking, since I have the Advanced Elements Advanced Frame Ultralight as well, I do have the inflatable footrest, so I guess I could try bringing that along and using it in the Packlite as well. However, when you start adding on all these gadgets and extra gear and whatever, after a while it kind of defeats the purpose of having a Packlite kayak. After all, the point of this kayak is really that it's really light, really small in terms of volume to bring around, and that's its advantage. When you get up in weight a bit and have more accessories and whatnot, then you could just as well use the Advanced Frame Ultralight, for example, at 7.9 kilograms. That is much more performance out of relatively little weight. But I thought the footrest would have been useful here for some foot support to get some strength. I guess the difference for me is a little bit clear because I spent a full day recently completing a full marathon, 42 kilometers, in one of my fastest kayaks, and the Packlite is probably 1/3 of the speed, so I'm kind of feeling that it's not that fast very clearly, but again, that's what it's meant to be quite nicely. Also, last time I tried the Packlite, it was on a sunny day with a little bit of waves, where just being out on the water by itself was awesome every moment. Now it's a little bit more gloomy, and it kind of puts a different feel to the pedal trip itself. I would still say I like this kayak. It does what it's meant to do quite nicely. I'll bring it along while biking or hiking or traveling. But for long trips, I'm gonna pick any other of my kayaks actually. Except maybe I might pick this one over the lagoon for some trips, as this is a slower kayak but much lighter. I'm sorry to say, but I think that boat might be faster than me. No problem with a little bit of tiny swell from the side. So I want to go check out that open space over there, the entrance towards more open water, and then I'm gonna head back. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe in order to stay updated on new videos and help others find information on this channel. Happy paddles!